Lionel Messi's latest sensational goal for Inter Miami against the Philadelphia Union in Major League Soccer was far from just another beautiful milestone to add to his already legendary and unmatched collection of historic highlights. It was a deeply intense moment defined by raw emotion and a sheer triumph of the human spirit over tragedy. This emotional opener marked his very first strike after the devastating loss of his father, Jorge Messi. Across the globe, the international media reacted with absolute awe at the genius of the legendary playmaker. He managed to deliver a truly unforgettable and deeply personal tribute on the pitch to the man who was his ultimate driving force. While doing so, he also closed the gap even further in that legendary historic race against Cristiano Ronaldo to reach 1,000 official career goals. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment down below to share your thoughts on this genuine masterpiece from Lionel Messi. What actually unfolded during that recent Major League Soccer match over at Subaru Park went so much deeper than just 90 standard minutes of tactical professional football. It became one of those rare transcendent moments where the sport of soccer connects directly to the human soul and channels nothing but pure, unadulterated emotion. Lionel Messi stepped onto the pitch to lead Inter Miami against the Philadelphia Union, while carrying the immense crushing weight of the absolute darkest, delicate period of his personal life. This was his very first competitive appearance since the tragic passing of his beloved father and trusted lifelong advisor, Jorge Messi. He was a man who didn't just walk beside him during those initial humble steps back in the neighborhood of Rosario. He was also the master architect behind every single aspect of his son's historically glorious and legendary career. The crushing weight of global anticipation over how the legendary Argentine superstar would actually perform under such heavy grief was absolutely massive. And his response came in the exact, brilliant way that the greatest player of all time always delivers, with sheer, unmatched genius. It was a display of pure class, capped off by a breathtaking, historic goal that went viral and captured the attention of the entire planet within a matter of minutes. Things started out incredibly difficult for the side from Florida, as they suddenly found themselves chasing the match just 11 minutes into the first half following an opening goal from Indiana Basilev. But then, the storm gathered. The sheer, undeniable magic of Lionel Messi took over the match to completely rewrite the entire script of the afternoon. In a blistering response that took a mere 5 minutes, the iconic number 10 proved once again why he remains the undisputed master of this beautiful game. First, he played a massive active role by delivering the key pre-assist that allowed Luis Suarez to lay off the ball for young Daniel Pinter to tuck away the equalizer. And then, the big moment. Lionel Messi picked up the ball right at the edge of the 18-yard box, instantly crowded by a swarm defenders in a tight space with absolutely no room to move. Exhibiting the calm composure of a true master, he used every ounce of his legendary technical skill to bait the defenders toward him. He cut back sharply onto his favored left foot with a devastating, ankle-breaking dribble before unleashing an absolutely unstoppable shot into the top corner, leaving the helpless Philadelphia Union goalkeeper completely stranded. That strike marked the third goal for the legendary Argentine superstar in an Inter Miami jersey, this current season after 17 total appearances, representing his third official goal since the historic 2026 World Cup came to a close. And yet, the quiet celebration and the sheer emotional weight of that singular moment carried a far deeper, more profound meaning. It did not take long for sports journalists around the globe to react with immense reverence and deep emotional awe. Major sports publications and prominent news portals across every single continent pointed out that this specific goal was far more than just a temporary comeback on the scoreboard. It was an eternal tribute, a beautiful work of art painted with his feet, dedicated entirely to his late father Jorge. The heartbreaking image of the legend pointing toward the heavens to dedicate this achievement to his ultimate mentor quickly dominated the front pages of major sports dailies in Spain, France, the United States, and naturally his native Argentina, where the overall tone was immediately one of immense national pride, deep sorrow, and profound respect. Quite apart from the overwhelming emotional and personal weight on his family, this single goal also carried an absolute mountain of significance in the most legendary career ever seen in the history of global football. in his eternal epic battle against Cristiano Ronaldo to see who will be the very first to reach that almost impossible milestone of 1,000 official goals. Lionel Messi just took another massive step forward by delivering this absolute masterpiece of a goal against the Philadelphia Union. The clinical Argentine superstar successfully climbed to an astonishing 922 official goals across 169 career matches throughout his incredibly illustrious playing career. Meanwhile, his legendary Portuguese rival still remains at the absolute summit of these historic goal-scoring charts, boasting an incredible 976 goals in 1,329 matches, which keeps the current gap between these two modern icons of the sport at exactly 54 goals. Even though the clinical Portuguese forward still holds on to a fairly comfortable lead at the very top of the ladder, the relentless, blistering scoring rate of Lionel Messi, combined with his significantly fewer total matches played over his career, keeps this epic rivalry more thrilling and alive than ever before. The profound impact of this beautiful, emotional moment easily transcends the touchlines of the pitch, striking a deep chord right in the hearts of soccer fans worldwide who adore the greatest player to ever play this game. The moment Lionel Messi cut inside to launch that spectacular left-footed strike directly into the far corner against the Philadelphia Union, the entire footballing world was not merely witnessing yet another trademark piece of art to add to his nearly infinite archive of legendary match highlights. Every single one of us was actually bearing witness to an unforgettable chapter of immense personal resilience, supreme mental toughness, and an unconditional lifelong love for the beautiful game, proving he can still dominate at the absolute pinnacle of professional global football, even just a few painful days after suffering the truly devastating loss of his own beloved father and greatest career supporter. What Lionel Messi did out there, playing through the grief of losing his father Jorge Messi, is a display of sporting greatness that very few athletes in human history could ever deliver. The captain of the Argentine national team transformed the deepest, most devastating pain of his life into pure, unfiltered art right there on the grass, dedicating every single second of that unforgettable performance to the memory of the man who had always stood right by his side. A supporter who was there from his very first steps in the youth ranks of Grandoli and Newell's Old Boys, all the way to the absolute summit of the footballing world. This incredibly unique, almost mystical ability of his divine strength to face life's absolute darkest and most painful moments with pure genius is the exact reason why his relentless pursuit of that historic milestone of 1,000 career goals remains so incredibly captivating for football fans all over the globe. With this brilliant strike hitting the back of the net in Major League Soccer, Lionel Messi has reached the mind-blowing milestone of 922 official goals in 1,169 matches throughout his legendary career. The fierce, electrifying battle for the ultimate crown against his eternal rival Cristiano Ronaldo remains as intense as ever, keeping sports media across the globe completely obsessed. Over in Saudi Arabia, the legendary Portuguese forward still leads the historic charts with 976 goals in 1,329 matches, holding a 54-goal lead over the Argentine number 10. But even so, when you look closely at this legendary performance through the lens of sheer efficiency, Messi's overall goal-per-game ratio is still significantly higher, which leaves football fans across the world with their hearts in their mouths every single time steps onto the pitch for Inter Miami in North America. The shockwaves across the globe's biggest sports media outlets were instant and overwhelming, filled with a deep, profound reverence for the incredible genius of the Argentine master. Over in Spain, prestigious international newspapers like Marca and Mundo Deportivo wasted no time in pointing out that the legendary number 10's journey toward his 1,000th career goal has taken on an eternal, deeply emotional meaning after this unforgettable tribute. Meanwhile, back in Argentina, major sports channels and the biggest news websites like Olé and TyC Sports celebrated the stance of their ultimate idol with an overwhelming sense of national pride as he honored the memory of his beloved father right there on the pitch in a truly majestic and deeply emotional way. Even the tough and notoriously demanding American media could not help but shower him with praise for the massive impact the superstar continues to have on both the commercial growth and popularity of soccer in the United States, proving his elite competitive drive is still completely untouched. Lionel Messi does not play soccer just to rack up empty statistics or shatter records that once seemed completely impossible for any normal human being. He plays the game to move entire generations and to build an eternal legacy that will never be erased from the history of sports. The legendary war against Cristiano Ronaldo is more alive than it has ever been, and every single goal Messi scores writes another incredible page of football history in real time. But do you actually believe that Messi will manage to catch up with and overtake Cristiano Ronaldo to become the first player ever to break through the historic barrier of 1,000 official goals in football history? Let us know what you think by leaving your honest thoughts in the comments below.